So now that the trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus has been released, there's a lot more to talk about in regards to the new characters that we're seeing in the trailer, how the story could possibly play out, what villain is going to be in the game, and how it could all tie into the story of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Or in this case, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But the main thing I want to talk about are the regional variants that we currently know about in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and why they're different compared to the Pokemon that we know them as well as how they tie into the lore of Sinnoh, as well as their real-world origins. Now, regional variants aren't really new in the Pokemon series. After all, we've had those in Sun and Moon and in Sword and Shield. And I already made 2 videos detailing the differences between Galarian forms and Alolan forms, so if you want to check those out, I'll put the link to those in the description below. And while these Hisui forms are obviously the same as both Galarian forms and Alolan forms, there is one small major difference, which I'll get to later. However, I think it's time we talk about the Hisui Pokemon that we currently know about at this moment, because they're obviously Hisuian Pokemon that we don't know about, at least until we get the game. So the first Hisuian Pokemon we should talk about is Hissuian Braviary. Now, usually Braviary are normal flying type. However, in the Hisui region, Braviary are now psychic flying. And the main reason for this is because Hissuian Braviary prefer to live alone instead of flocks. Not to mention, Braviary fly over to the Hisui region during the winter. And combined with being alone, it must have gained the psychic typing. And based off of that, Hissuian Braviary appear to be based off of the stellar sea eagle, due to its large size and the white highlights on its wings. Plus, this bird is also known for spending the winter in Hokkaido, which is what both the Sinnoh region and the Hisui region are based off of. Now let's move on to Hisuian Growlithe, which before regular Growlithe was mono fire type. This time, Hisuian Growlithe is fire rock type, and is mainly due to the cold weather of Hisui, because due to its fur being insulated, it was able to survive in the harsh winter, and as a result, it may have developed the rock typing. Now, unlike regular Growlithe, Hisuian Growlithe are more territorial, and due to them living apart from humans, it takes longer for this Pokemon species to bond with them, so as a result, they're more aggressive towards humans. Now, similar to regular Growlithe, Hisuian Growlithe are also based off of the lion dog statues, mainly due to them being more vigilant and guarding their territory. Now let's go to Hisuian Stantler, or more specifically, Hisuian Stantler's evolution, Weirdeer, due to it being a normal psychic type. And the main reason why Stantler can evolve into Weirdeer in the Hisui region and not other regions probably has to do with the Hisui region's harsh cold environments, and as a result, they wound up being able to evolve. Weirdeer are beloved and respected by the people of Hisui since ancient times. In fact, they even use its fur for winter clothing. Now, due to its white fur and beard-like mane, it seems to be based off of the Arctic elk. And because Weirdeer, along with its pre-evolution Stantler, are beloved by the people of Hisui, it seems to be a reference to how deer in Japan are considered sacred. And the main reason for this is because of their significance in ancient Shinto religion, where deer are said to be messengers of the gods. Now let's move on to Hisuian Basculin, or its evolution Basculegion. Now, in my previous video, I talked about how I really liked Basculegion's design. However, I didn't talk about was the way it evolves. And the way it evolves is the most badass metal thing I've ever seen in Pokemon. It evolves by being possessed by the souls of other deceased Basculin in its school, who didn't survive the journey swimming upstream. And when in battle, Basculegion will attack along with the souls in its body as powered. And because of this, it can swim for long periods of time without tiring. Now, due to its size and its large jaw, it seems to be based off of the largemouth bass, which kinda seems boring. However, because of the fact that this thing is a conglomerate of many restless spirits, it seems to be based off of the Japanese yokai known as the Gashodokaru, which is a Japanese spirit that takes the form of a giant skeleton, and it's said to be composed of the bones of people who are already deceased. Now, these regional variants are obviously similar to both Alolan forms and Galarian forms, mainly due to the different typing because of the environment, as well as the alternate evolutions that are not seen in the original versions of the Pokemon. However, the one thing that I find odd is these Pokemon are found in the Hisui region, which is the past version of Sinnoh. However, they're not found in the present version of Sinnoh. Now, why is that? Well, there might be a possible explanation for this. Perhaps due to the arrival of humans and changes in the environment, these Pokemon may have migrated to other regions Legends, which would make them the original versions of the Pokemon that they're based off of. For example, Hisuian Growlithe may have become so attached to humans that they may have traveled with humans to other regions, and as a result of this over time, they may have lost their rock typing, and became the Growlithe that we all know today, which in a way is kind of similar to Galarian Zigzagoon and Alolan Executor, with the regional variant being the original version of the Pokemon, and the original Pokemon being the regional variant, if that makes sense. Now for Hisuian Stantler, the reason why we don't see them in modern day Sinnoh may have to do with a combination of human activity as well as changes in the environment, which may have resulted in them losing their food source, and as a result they may have had to migrate to another region, that region being the Johto region. And while Johto may have had its food supply, its environment wasn't as harsh as the Sinnoh region, and as a result it may have lost its evolution. Now for Hisuian Basculin, the possible reason as to why it can't evolve in the present could be due to changes in the environment, which could result in them dealing with a less harsh environment and causing them to lose their evolution, and basically making them more weaker in the present than in the past. Now, we've kind of seen something similar to this with another fish Pokemon, that Pokemon being Magikarp, because according to its red and blue Pokedex entry, in the distant past it was somewhat stronger than the horribly weak descendants that exist today, which isn't really that odd compared to real-world animals when you think about it, because certain animal species happen to be the descendants of dinosaurs. For example, birds come from the dinosaur group known as theropods, meat-eating dinosaurs, the same group that the T-Rex is in. Granted, they all evolved from smaller theropods. Now, the explanation to why these Pokemon are not in the modern day Sinnoh do pretty much make sense. After all, it is in line with most real-world animals. However, there is a possible theory that I do have as to why these Pokemon aren't here. And this theory happens to be connected to an old myth that you find in the Canalave City Library. That myth being the Veilstone Myth. And for those of you who don't know, or even played the original Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum games, Veilstone's myth involves a young swordman regretting his actions after an encounter with a Pokemon. Because of the myth, he would basically kill Pokemon for food or for glory, until he encountered a Pokemon that caused him to regret his actions, and snapping the sword in half. And upon seeing this, the Pokemon disappeared into a place beyond sight. And this Pokemon was implied to be Giratina, which makes sense because Turnback Cave is a place beyond sight, and also a path to the Distortion World. So perhaps as a result of his carelessness with the sword, the Hissuian variants may have wound up becoming extinct as a result of this man's actions, which may have caused Giratina to intervene, because it may have been angered by the swordsman's actions, and perhaps the sight of Giratina may have caused him to feel guilty for his actions, with him breaking the sword and wanting to seek forgiveness for the genocide of the Hissuian Pokemon. Or not, who knows, because there's still much information that hasn't been shown in Pokemon Legends Arceus yet. After all, they're still working on the game. But that was pretty much my theory, and I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this. Do you think there's any plausibility to this theory, or do you have your own theory as to why there's no Hisuian Pokemon in present-day Sinnoh? Let me know in the comment section of this video so we can get this discussion going. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. Take care.